Okay, I'm about to adjust the neck seal on this wetsuit, and to line it up I've got the suit turned inside out, so the smooth skin is inside and the nylon lining is facing outwards, and I've got it looped over a plank of wood fed in through the open dry zip. As you can see, the wetsuit seam that I'm going to adjust is clearly visible, and I've got a nice firm surface there for me to work on. Okay, we're going to take this seal in by 1.5 centimetres on either side. So I'm going to mark the line like that. As you can see, it doesn't have to be an exact science. Now all I'm going to do now is cut along the line that I marked out. And I'm going to start at the top of the current neck seal and then finish off at its base. And we're going for a okay, can you see the approximate shape that we're aiming to cut out? And there we have the Black Witch contact adhesive made by Magnet, and just an old knife to spread the adhesive on. Spread it on both sides. Put a generous layer on and work it into the neoprene. Fortunately it's black, so it won't really make a mess of the suit, so if you do run off the edges a bit, it won't actually look unattractive. It won't spoil the appearance of the suit. And I think the key is use a generous quantity and really work it into the neoprene so that the neoprene soaks the glue up. And in particular that corner there, really give that a good going over with glue so that we can squeeze it all together. Okay, now we leave that for 5 to 10 minutes, and when it is touch dry we will then push those two surfaces together. Right, we've left this for 5 to 10 minutes and it is now touch dry, the glue, and we're going to push the two sides together. We're going to use this flat surface to line up the two neoprene edges. We're going to start with we're going to line up the top of the neck seal first, but if you look, I'm using the flat surface, I'm pushing it against the flat surface, the plank that goes through the neck seal, to ensure that the neoprene edges are lined up. when you've got it lined up, give it a really good squeeze together all the way along, and then hopefully you can, there you go, you see that worked? To reinforce this glue bond, we're going to tape the inside of this adjusted neck seal. This material here, the brand is Melco, but it is basically called heat tape. This particular brand is Melco T5000. The basic principle is that if you use an iron on a middle setting, the iron will melt that glue but won't actually melt the nylon lining of the wetsuit. You can buy it by the metre and it comes in a roll like that, although you can buy it by the metre. Emphasise the iron is on the middle setting. Right, so I'm going to put this heat tape over the glued seam, starting at the very top, and if you just leave the iron on, you'll see that it starts to melt. Can you see just on the edge there? You'll see that it starts to melt the glue, but we're not actually melting the nylon. If you find this bit a bit scary, then what I suggest you do is have a little practice on a bit of neoprene somewhere else that doesn't matter, and you can probably just about make out that you can see that the glue is melting and pushing out the side very slightly. And I'm ensuring that I can feel the glued seam underneath this tape, so I'm ensuring that I'm running over evenly on either side of the glued seam. Now I've cut the tape so that it runs down below the neck seal to overrun with the stitched seams at the base of the neck seal. And there you are, you can see that I've melted the glue look, but I haven't actually burnt the nylon lining of the suit. Okay, and here's the end result. I've done some neater, I've done some worse, but there's your adjusted seam on the outside. I could have done it a bit better there. And you can see that will last as long as the suit. Now repeat that exercise with the other seam on the other side of the neck seal.